right, welcome. Right here at the one and only Metroflex Gym in Plano. How are you doing?
Good.
And would you like to introduce yourself?
Mark Meyer. My Strongman nickname is US-ArmyDude.
US-ArmyDude, awesome. And also, how was your competition from last weekend?
Better than it was the first time. The first comp was my second comp ever. A little disappointing. I was 1 point away from making the podium this time, but you know, I only compare myself to how I was yesterday. So I just gotta look for nothing but positivity from now on and just go forward from there.
Oh, heck yeah. And also just one of those things for Strongman, like there's like one good event that you can do, excel, kick ass, and dominate everyone, and also other events, not as much. So just because like one event you're good at doesn't mean like, you know, that's the place you're gonna end up in. So
Right, yeah.
the crazy thing about Strongman, it's just like it's a game of chess.
It is. It's I was fortunate enough to beat the GOAT, Jonathan Baker,
Yeah.
at one of the events. Actually, at all the one event. Sorry, I'm a little flustered right now. But he was able to dominate the entire event, so the entire competition. But I was happy with the fact that I beat him in the push-pull, the pull push, and I won that whole event. So I was happy with that.
You know, that's actually really awesome. And also, I watched you two battle up against each other, and it was actually like pretty close. So how did you end up like holding your ground? And was it just from like staying low, or was it like the GOAT like losing his shoe that lost control of his base? Or
he lost his shoe at the end there, or lost his grip, his cleats, if you will. This entire cleat came off his shoe. I think this really what it was for me was just muscle memory from years of football and just knowing how to stay low. And fortunately, I outweighed him by a few pounds, and so it just comes down to I was able to just dig in, and he just wasn't able to move me, and so I kind of took him wherever he wanted to go, and that was out of the ring.
well, that was pretty awesome. You know, like the crazy cool thing about Strongman, it you know, like people like come in to do the sport from like all types of background, like or backgrounds per se, from like football, basketball, track and field. It all correlates pretty well to the sport because the sport just have everything but strength related, such as like the gripping event, or such as like the mano-a-mano event, such as like the last man standing, or like the pole vaulting. I personally call it the Scottish wrestling.
Yes. It's definitely everyone's there from all different backgrounds. I didn't come into the sport until about a year ago. I've been working out and trying to stay healthy my whole life, and I didn't really get the bug of strongman or even powerlifting until about a year ago. And it's a new passion for me, and I just can't wait to see what's in the future.
Well, that's really awesome, brother. And also, like having a football background, like you've already said, along with like doing a little bit of powerlifting, I think that helped you so far in the sport.
Yes, definitely. It's just a lot of like just, you know, you can't spell powerlifting without power. So
Exactly.
Like my background in football, I was a lineman, and we're not made for speed as we are just moving another guy our size 5 yards at a time. So definitely that comes in. And then just also my military background of being the pack mule, if you will, just carrying all the heavy stuff. A lot of that comes into play, and just stick with it, and just you gotta keep practicing at it. Basically is what it is. It's practice. It's just a sport like everything else, so you gotta practice.
Exactly. And also, you just proved everyone's point. You can't just only be strong to participate in strongman. You also gotta be athletic as well. Like, it's like the thing with strongman, do you have like the speed strength, the endurance strength, or the mental capacity or the mental strength to do it, just like you kind of did towards the end when you beat the GOAT?
Yeah. Yes, definitely strength training, endurance training, but you'd be surprised at the cardio that is involved too. You still have to, you can't just rely on lifting heavy stuff and moving it from one point to another. You got to get cardio in some way or another, whether that be a little bit of jogging here and there, stair climb, or even get on the bike for, you know, not more than a couple minutes, but you know, maybe 15 minutes at a time. I could get better at it myself, I'll be honest with you. It's surprised at how drained you are after one event.
Exactly. And what a lot of people don't realize, especially like powerlifters, like I'm a former powerlifter, and I competed at my very first strongman competition back 10 years ago at 2014 California Strongest Man. Even though I had the strongest bench press, I took almost last because of my cardio was complete garbage.
Yeah.
And then versus my second year competing strongman, I went from like almost last place to like top 5 or top 6 just for really work on my cardio, even though my strength was already there.
Yeah.
But just like you've mentioned, that's the reason having some cardio or being in good shape for the sport is so important, not just being strong.
Yeah, it's one of those things of like, you look at some of the pro strongman guys, they could probably outrun me distance-wise even today. Because they actually get the cardio in like they're supposed to. And it's just something I got to work at, something we all got to work at, because it benefits you in every aspect of life. So not just strongman or powerlifting, it benefits you all over. So
Heck yeah. And to me, it doesn't matter like where anyone starts, is it matters like where you finish, and also doesn't matter like how young, how old. The sport is like meant for all ages.
Yeah, there's no age is just a number. I'm 44 myself. I don't. Some people say I don't look it, I don't act it for sure, but I do feel it in the morning the next day. But it's just like I said, I got into the sport late, so just as long as I stick with it, I do it for my family, I do it for me, and I do it for my job. So it's what I do.
Heck yeah. Well, hey, you definitely didn't look 44 when you competed, so.
I felt it the next day though, so it's. But yeah, I appreciate. Yeah, people say I look young, and I'll take that. And obviously, it's a great community. It's like I said, yeah, you're competing against each other, but at the end of the day, we all come together to support each other. It's one of those.
It's just all like one family.
Yeah, it's a big family, and yeah, we're there to like I said, we're there to compete against each other, but at the same time, you don't see anyone on the sidelines just hanging out. Everyone's out there on the field cheering each other on in between events.
Yeah, that's really awesome, and that's also like part of the point of my YouTube channel is to spread awareness about the sport of strongman. Even though strongman has already become big internationally, I just want to make it big nationally. Like it's already been big like from top to bottom, but not bottom to top.
Yeah.
And the way how I want to do it is just increase the local strongman community, where the name of the sport becomes well known nationwide. So that being said, that's going to lead me to one of my last 2 questions. And that next question is, where would you like to see the sport of strongman in the next 5, 10, or even 20 years?
Definitely in the next 5 years, I'd like to see it, just as, well known. Not as big as football, but definitely up there in at least the Olympic setting. I'd like to see it more there too. I know there's obviously weightlifting in the Olympic setting, but there's not, strongman there. And definitely with guys that are, the well-known there in the U.S. setting that's making it known now. Everybody knows, Eddie Hall.
Yeah.
Everybody knows, guys like, Ronnie Coleman and Jay Cutler and, Metroflex Branch Warren. It's just not many people know the American guys.
Exactly. Just like I've already said, like it's big from the top to bottom, but not from bottom to top.
Yeah,
and that's basically just part of this YouTube channel. It's just growing the sport. Yeah. Where personally, I feel like I want it to be as popular as the NFL, but now you just kind of gave me another idea. It should be like an Olympic sport.
Yeah, and what I like about it, like nothing against CrossFitters that do CrossFit. Those guys are extremely athletic, extremely cardio-wise, better than most people out there. But strongman is I guess it's like the grizzly bear version of CrossFit. It's just big guys, strong women, not big women necessarily, but definitely strong women, just moving heavy stuff from one point to another as quickly as possible. And like I said, nothing against CrossFitters, but they can't really move super heavy stuff. And I'm not the best at it myself, so don't say that I'm like a stud at it, but it's just one of those things of like being able to see them move that fast. Guys that big moving that fast is just impressive. So I'd like to see it definitely be as big as football one day, but definitely at the Olympic setting, I like to see it there.
Oh heck yeah! And also, last question before I close out: how did you get the name US-ArmyDude?
I got that actually because whenever I joined the military in 2004, that was when I finally picked my email address. And my email address is just US-ArmyDude at yahoo.com. I don't care if you email me or not, that's my email address. And I've had that email address for the past 20-something years, and I just stuck with it. Dylan, he gave it to me as my nickname just because it was quick and easy, and I'll take it. Like I said, I got nothing against it. I was proud to serve my country, and I still do it today if I have to. So.
Oh, amen, brother. It was actually my pleasure to give it to you, not just because you kicked ass at Strongman Saturday, but also you just earned it just from doing what you've done for all of us, serving our country. And I just cannot thank every men and women out there for doing that.
Well, I appreciate that.
So big thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Amen.